Hey everyone! Hope you're all doing warm and well. It's actually quite frozen where I'm at today. So for today's video I wanted to talk about Resident Evil Code Veronica. Now there's no denying that Code Veronica deserves a remake. It's actually kind of annoying that Capcom isn't giving Code Veronica the attention it deserves. And I know I can't be the only one that feels that way. But first, before we get into the discussion, let me just say that this is all my personal opinion and ideas. My last video ruffled some feathers, so if you feel the need to try and put me in my place, I can't stop you. But I am well aware that my target audience is very small, and most Resident Evil fans are probably going to disagree with me. But being stuck in the past is what I do. I know I've been complaining a lot about how the Resident Evil storyline went after Resident Evil 3, after the 90s, and I know there's nothing I can do about how the Resident Evil storyline went, except for whine and complain and rant about it. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do! Even though Code Veronica came in after the 90s, Code Veronica was a fantastic game with a good storyline, which actually fit in pretty well following the first 3 games. Some might say it's the rightful heir to the Resident Evil 4 throne. It's canon to the storyline. It takes place 3 months after Raccoon City is destroyed. Claire's still looking for Chris. Claire travels to Europe, where she infiltrates the Umbrella headquarters and gets caught. From there, she's sent to Rockfort Island, where Umbrella apparently sends its prisoners, who are at the mercy of a creepy madman named Alfred Ashford. Now, this island is also a training facility for Umbrella operatives like Hunch. And later in the game, you even find a memo written by Hunch to Alfred. Now, Alfred also happens to be weirdly obsessed with his twin sister Alexia, who is one of Umbrella's scientists. She develops her own version of the T-virus called the T Veronica virus. Shortly after Claire is jailed on the island is attacked and the virus is released, causing another Raccoon City-style outbreak. Now this is where my issue comes in, because you've heard me ranting and raving before about how unbelievable and unrealistic the game gets. Well, this, for me, is where it starts. Because who attacked Rockfort Island, you ask? None other than the late STARS captain, Albert Wesker himself. Sorry to disappoint all you Wesker fans out there, but this two-timing, psychopathic,
Stop it!
STARS-killing, cold-blooded murderer got the ironic death that he deserved.
No! It's magnificent.
And he should have stayed dead. See, for me, bringing Wesker back to life is where Capcom started implementing all the ridiculous over-the-top stuff, like resurrections, superpowers, the Matrix-style fighting, and from there, Wesker's development just got more and more ridiculous and unbelievable, to the point that in Resident Evil 5, the next time we see him after Code Veronica, he's even dressed like he's straight out of the Matrix. He's dodging bullets. In fact, I even think he did this exact same move or something pretty close. He's putting mind-controlled devices on Jill Valentine. How much more over-the-top and unrealistic can you get? I'm surprised we didn't see him flying. Maybe he just didn't believe enough. And back to Resident Evil 1, there's no believable way he would have survived being impaled by the Tyrant and escaping the mansion explosion. And they can try and make sense of it in the Umbrella Chronicles all they want, but I don't buy it. He injected himself with the virus that gave him the superpowers right before he unleashes the Tyrant? Not likely. But what if this happened instead? Wesker stays dead and gone, and Umbrella sends in Hunch to Rockfort Island to retrieve the T Veronica virus and eliminate Alfred and Alexia. I mean, the first time we see Hunch, it's just a glimpse of what he's capable of, what he can do, and what he's there for. He's sent into Raccoon City to retrieve the G-virus from William Birkin's lab, which he was the only one that survived. He succeeded. But since Umbrella has a problem with their scientists going rogue and developing their own viruses, Hunch is their man for taking care of that problem. But after Raccoon City, we don't see Hunch again. Shows up here and there in cameos, but that's it. We don't see him as part of an actual storyline. Now, Hunch is a mysterious fan favorite that is long overdue and well deserving of his own story. in his own game. But the way the storyline went, we have no closure with Hunch. We don't know what happened to him after Umbrella fell. With the recent remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3, and the changes that Capcom made to the storyline, a slightly changed up Code Veronica remake would be great at this point. And since Code Veronica is the last time we see classic 90s spiky haired stars Chris, before Capcom changes his looks and pumps him full of steroids, I would love to see Chris battle it out with Hunch instead of Super Wesker. For me, that would be much more believable and intense. Even if Chris doesn't end up killing Hunch and they both get away and that's how the game ends, that would be a great transition to the next part of a more sensible storyline. I really just hope Capcom doesn't do something else silly and say that Hunch has actually been Chris Redfield this whole time.
I'm Redfield.
Because if you think about it, Chris is in Europe during the time that Hunch is in Raccoon City. And we also don't get any closure of what Chris was doing in Europe. Supposedly staking out Umbrella HQ? Well, we don't know. None of the games after Code Veronica cover that. Anyway, just more of my thoughts and ideas and opinions, but I'd like to hear what you think. Thanks for watching.